Up again. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the. You all right? They just went in. I ain't got no time. Your input is invalid. You might want to hang up. John 5:39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question. How many of y'all search the scriptures on a regular basis? All right, how many of y'all do that on a regular basis? Now I'm gonna ask you another question. We all know what just occurred last week. How many of y'all prepared to die right now? How many of y'all prepared to go in that dirt and know what did we just talk about? Children, be quiet. Thank you. How many of y'all prepared to hit that grave and know that you had the confidence to speak like how Martha spoke to Yahushua about her and her brother? That said, I know that I will see him at the resurrection of the last day. And if you're not that confident that you're going to get up out the grave, then what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to change that? You know what I'm saying? Where's your level of commitment and discipline to because the word is a discipline, whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Where's your level of discipline at to this here? Or you think this just something for you to do and sit in here every Saturday afternoon? Because it's not. This literally your life. You literally gonna stand before this man's throne and be judged and be given account for everything you've done in your body. It's not a joke. It's not a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like I meant, I already know, man, what my whole sole purpose in life is. Anything that get added on to that is what my purpose was. Your number one purpose in life is to not live your best life. Your number one purpose in life is to not fulfill your desires. Your number one purpose in life is to serve Yahuwah and deliver your soul from death. That's all you were created for. You were created for his esteem. You were not created to do what you wanted to do. He said in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, y'all know what he said? He said, hear the whole conclusion of the matter. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments. That's the conclusion of the whole play. Ain't nothing else outside of that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about getting married. It ain't about having kids. It ain't about how much money you can make. It ain't about where you stay. It ain't about what you get to go do. It's not about where you get to travel at. It's not the clothes you put on. Your whole conclusion of the matter is to fear Yah and do what he say. If you don't do that, I done told you this before. If you don't want to do it, eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow you die. That's what you might as well go do. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're going to go to hell doing what you want to do. Don't go to hell being no hypocrite. Do you know what I'm saying? Do everything you want. That's why I mentioned that before too, because my people literally gave us the consequences for our actions before we did it. Like if you do this, this, and this is what I'm going to do to you. You know what I'm saying? So when you make this conscious decision to be blatantly defiant, don't be shocked when I crack you upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shocked when I remove this from you or withhold something that I promised that I was going to give to you. The same token, my cousin's son, she always told this nigga, if you do this what I'm going to do. And he went opposite and was shocked that she didn't do opposite what she said she was going to do. And we asked him, Sean, why did you do that? Well, I thought she would do different this time. When has she ever been inconsistent? Never. So what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? You know what we do? See, we disobey, and then you expected your parents was not going to crack you upside your head. That's why we despise the chastening, because you didn't think they were going to do it. That's why people don't chasten their kids now, because you didn't like when your people chasten you, because you a wicked, no good bastard. So now you raising another wicked, no good bastard. Because you don't want to pop him upside his head. And popping him upside his head doesn't mean literally that you have to place your hands on them. I have to correct your behavior. But not only correct the behavior, tell them why it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Not just don't do that. Explain to them, this is why you don't do that. Do you not realize when y'all told you not to do something, he explained to you why you shouldn't do it? He just didn't tell you because most people want to ask this question, especially people in y'all age bracket. They want to know why. You know what I'm saying? Why? See, I come from a generation because I said so. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the same token, y'all actually took the time and told you why. This is why you should not do this. So I understood that even without knowing the word. That's another example of what's in Romans, that you do what's in the word without even knowing the word. So I understood and reason I understood that, because my people did it. When we did something wrong, that you're making, this is what is going to be the end result. So I'm going to stop you by busting you upside your head now. So 9 o'clock. That's what you do. But straight up and down, though. You got to think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? What are you here for? You think you here to do what you want to do? You're not here to do what you want to do. How many of y'all would be content if you did not get to fulfill anything you wanted to do, but you was able to enter into the garden that looks like Eden? That's what you got to ask yourself. You know, it's a lot of niggas walk away from that word. I got a life too. What about my life? Nigga, what about it? Look at your life before Yahushua and look at your life after. You really think before is better than after? You an idiot. Do you know what I'm saying? You ain't had no hope. You ain't had no salvation. You had no knowledge. You had no standard. You were floating. Now you want to come to Yahushua and say, well, I still want to do everything I want to do and serve you at the same time. You ain't fit for the kingdom. And that's what's wrong with everybody. Ain't nobody going to tell nobody that. You're not fit for the kingdom. We already know that. Yahushua ain't walk around here and say, well, but you know, I'd like to get married and have a couple kids. You know, start my own carpentry business and, you know, build houses and all this, that, and the third. He said, man, go preach this word, cuz. That's what you go do. Do you know what I'm saying? That ain't the mind frame that people got. Once you come to this man, your life is over. Once you went in that water, you supposed to already, if you weren't taught that before you went in that water, you were certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Whoever taught you failed you. You know what I'm saying? For you not to understand, your life stopped that day. Your life was over. The minute you hit that water, your life was over. And if that offends you, you might well get up and go home. Ain't that what he told him in John 6? Do my words offend you? Didn't he ask him that? Does this offend you? And what them niggas started doing when after he asked him that? Some walked away. You have to look at that. Go on 539, man. I didn't want you to sit that in your head. I ain't finished it, though. I just read verse 39. We read it again. I want you to know. I done told you this before. Ain't no way in the world I couldn't dare be married to a woman who ain't solid in the word. Because we ain't finna be raising no mixed, confused bastard churn. That ain't finna happen. You know what I'm saying? Dead serious, though. You know what I'm talking about? My wife gonna be solid for Yahuwah, and I tell everyone that everybody that see us know them the children of Yahuwah right there. And I ain't talking about just no offspring. The offspring, me, the spouse, everybody. Them Yahuwah people right there. How you know? You ever seen them? You see how they move? You see how they live? You see how they treat people? You see how they stand? They ain't with none of that junk. Look here, you ain't got to believe what I believe. I ain't going to treat you nasty, but I'm going to let you know, though, I don't rock with that what you on. Unless you profess the word and then you don't follow it, then I'm going to tell you you're a no good hypocrite. I hope you die and go to hell. You don't repent, you wicked bastard. You blaspheming my Abba's name all across the earth. I don't respect that. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't be on that. If you're going to be wicked, be wicked. Ain't that what he said? He said, if you're going to be filthy still. And if you're going to be just, then be just still. Pick a side and stay with it. Don't teeter on the edge. You know what I'm saying? I would rather you pick the right-hand side. Don't pick the left-hand side. That's where the goat sat on the left. You want to be on the right, where he say, enter into the kingdom my Abba had prepared for you. He got a spot for you. You don't want it? I guarantee you right now, if somebody told you there was a spot for some free sun, most of y'all would be right there waiting on it. It's a free spot in y'all's kingdom, and you sitting in your chair like, I don't know if I want to go or not. It's hot outside. That's niggas for you. It's a free spot, and it's a free spot. He said he got many houses in there for you too. You know what I'm saying? Many. It's a whole bunch of them. Nigga don't even want it. He giving you something free. It's free. Only thing you got to do is give your life up. That's all you got to do in exchange to get it.
That's a hefty difference.
Ain't no hefty price. It ain't no hefty price compared to the comparative value of what's being offered.
Niggas don't count the cost.
Well, I know they don't count the cost. Nigga count that cost to go to the club. Nigga count that cost to go buy some shoes. Niggas do more investigative research on buying a refrigerator than they do to serve Yahuwah. What type of crap is that? Who, boy, you got some people that will go all the way lie about the appliances that they purchased.
Niggas do that about cars for sure.
The cars, I ain't just talking about next street. You got some black people like this here. I need the Frigidaire because I need the one that do this. A lot of us ain't got to that point in life where you could take that time to be discriminatory about a refrigerator, to be discriminatory about a stove. People who get houses built, and there's a lot of black people get houses built from the ground up. Well, them people want to know, they want a particular type of refrigerator and stove in their house, microwave and dishwasher. They're like, no, that's not going to work. We don't want that in here. Do you know what I'm saying? You got niggas get their house built. We can't have that type of tile. Spend 3 months deciding what type of flooring they want. Nigga won't even spend 30 minutes to decide where they soul gonna rest. What kind of crap is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really sit back and look at it, how stupid we is. Niggas spend 45 minutes deciding what outfit they gonna put on. You know what I'm saying? Niggas spend all discriminatory time about what type of vacation I'm gonna take. You gonna take a vacation in hell, you don't spend no time with you. I tell you that. And I ain't talking about the lake of fire. I'm talking about the grave. You're going to die. And then you're going to wake up and die again. That's what I'm talking about. Why we ain't that strong for that? See, everybody ain't fit. I've been told you that. You know, everybody can't play in the NBA, right? You know why everybody can't play in the NBA? Why y'all think everybody can't play in the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball? It ain't even the skill. It ain't even the talent. It's the mindset. It's the will. Look out there. I always mention him because people look at him now and they hate him. Tom Brady was 199th person selected. He was about a good 40 to 50 picks from not even being drafted. Do you know what I'm saying? He was not considered to be nothing but trash, a project. And that man walked away and said his mentality said, I will be the greatest quarterback of all time. And then when he began to have success, he did not rest on his laurels and say, I'm the best. I can be better in this. I can be better in that. This man's been playing the NFL for 18 years and he's still looking on how I can be better. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. You got a lot of people you seen play pro ball that had plenty talent and didn't make it. Because they didn't have the mindset. Everybody ain't got it in them to serve Yahuwah. Everybody ain't got it. It ain't in their heart. It ain't in their heart to do what's necessary and required to be successful in the service of Yahuwah. And the only thing you need to be successful is to relinquish your own will. That's all you need. That's all you need. As difficult as it may sound, it's really very simple. Let it go. Yeah, they made it, but at the end, the same thing with LeBron. They put a lot of expectations on it, but he had to want to be great. I heard a dude say that the other day, though. How many players you ever seen in their 16th year still considered to be the top free agent and the best player in their sport? Who've been playing for 16 years?
It's skill, bro.
You can say skill all you want to, but it's work ethic. You can have skill, but if you don't work, your skill. They always say talent, hard work beat out talent. Plaxico Burress had a lot of talent. He didn't work hard. Mike Vick had a lot of talent. He didn't work hard. He told you he didn't work hard. Vick could have been way better than what he was. He wanted to rely on his talent. What you do when your skills fade? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do then? So you have to look at it. It's the mind frame of, I want to do this. And I'm willing to do what's necessary to do this. And everybody don't think that way. We talk about it, everybody want to start a business till they find out the work that's involved. Then they don't want to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to work. You got to grind. Ain't nobody cutting you no paycheck because you was here 40 hours. You can work 40 hours and make absolutely nothing. Will you keep going? You can suffer for the word and seem like Yah ain't blessed you with nothing. Will you keep going? Because of what the end goal is. John 5:39. Little boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. I hear the fakeness in your well. John 5:39. Come on, man. All that fake crying you doing. And that's Eugene over there. He didn't want to know what's wrong with him. Come on, man. Who got it wrong?
Scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they will testify of me.
Yes, sir.
And you will not come to me that you might have life.
Yes, sir.
I receive not honor from men.
I told don't.
But I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you.
He already know the niggas ain't got it.
I'll come in my Father's name, and you receive me not.
Uh-huh.
If another should come in his own name, him you will receive.
Uh-huh.
How can you believe but receive honor one of another and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only?
Uh-huh.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For had you believed in Moses, you would have believed in me, for he wrote of me.
For he what?
He wrote of me.
Uh-huh.
But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
Songs of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 4. Make it verse 1. I'm going to try to answer at least all the questions you asked. I can work them all in for what I had to do anyway. Songs of Solomon 2 and 1.
says, I'm the rose of Sharon. And the lily of the valleys. As the lily among thorns, so my love is among the daughters.
He says, so is a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. I'm going to ask y'all a question. What y'all say? See, praise the Lamb. Y'all working when I go a little higher. What y'all think he mean when he say the lily among the thorns? Number one, what is a lily? It's a flower. It's a nice looking flower if you're into lilies. Anybody in here like lilies? Who?
Your mama said she likes a lily.
Oh, okay. I don't know, sir. I'm not a flower-specific individual. I couldn't tell you a lily from a geranium. So, nevertheless. So what you think when he say a lily amongst the thorns? Y'all got any idea? 2 and 1. Come on, Eugene. I seen your mama try to give you a man bun the other day. Tell her don't do it like that. Say, I was a man. Say, I was a man. Say, I was a man who spilled all his juice on his fresh shirt.
That's a handsome man.
Say, I'm a handsome man. Say, that's a handsome man. Say, that's a handsome man. Well, you can't play with that. Y'all got any idea what that could mean, a lily among thorns? It could be. What do thorns usually do to flowers? Because a thorn would be considered to be what? In this context.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It's a weed.
It's a weed.
Yeah.
And what do weeds usually do to plants? They kill them, right? Choke them off, right? Now, he asked the question beforehand. Let's go to Job chapter 5. Give me about verse 10. Yes, sir. What may I do for you? I don't have any of that.
I got confused with some lilies and
some flowers have thorns on them.
It's some
Yeah, roses have thorns on them.
flowers that grow on thorns. But then when you put them in that makes sense.
And those thorns on those flowers are for their protection.
You said you want a little Zephody?
Job 5 and 10. He trying to get some snacks? He trying to steal some snacks? He's a snack pilferer. That's what he just asked me for. Your son a snack pilferer. He be robbing the kids at daycare? He must have learned that from you. You around here stealing people's snacks and honey drippers and cookies and chips. You probably at a daycare like this here. Yeah, I did rob that nigga. Come on, get you 3 Doritos for $1.
You said 5 and 10? It said, who giving rain upon the earth and sending waters upon the fields to set up on high those that be low?
Set up what?
On high those that be low.
He set up what?
That those which mourn may be exalted to safety.
That those that mourn might be what?
Exalted.
Then we already read in Job 23 about him mourning, right? Keep on going.
It said he disappointed the devices of the crafty.
He do what?
Disappointed.
The devices of the crafty. Go ahead.
So their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
They can't do what they wanted to do.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
You know what it means to carry headlong, right? What that means, right? It's what he did with the swine. And they wanted to do it to Yahushua too.
You said the slave.
Yeah, when he cast them unclean spirits into that swine. Job 5.
It's in 13, verse 13.
What you think that mean when he said he carried the crafted their devices and throw them headlong? Shalom, man. There be people on there, I don't even know. What if we throw headlong? Yahushua was preaching, and he said something the people didn't like, and he was on the mountain. So when they said to cast him headlong, they wanted to throw him off of their head first. They wanted to toss him off the mountain. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying he taking the crafty's enterprises or their devices and throwing them down. Go ahead.
14. They meet with darkness in the daytime.
They meet with what?
In darkness. They meet with darkness.
In the wind?
In the daytime.
Keep that in mind. Come on.
And grow in the noonday.
They what?
They grope in the noonday.
And what else?
As in the night.
As in the night.
But he saveth the poor from the sword.
He saveth the poor from what?
The sword.
And what else?
From their mouth and from the hand of the mighty.
Go ahead.
So the poor have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth.
Go ahead.
Behold, happy is the man whom Elohim corrected.
So right there, if you get corrected by Elohim, then you would be blessed. Go ahead.
Therefore despise not the chastening of Elohim.
Go ahead.
For he maketh sore and bindeth up.
He makes sore and he bind up.
And woundeth
and heal.
He woundeth and his hands make whole.
Make whole.
He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
There we go.
Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
What you think that mean right there, Maul? 6 troubles he'll deliver you, and 7 no evil will touch you. No evil will touch thee. Indeed, brother, indeed. He'll deliver you from 6 troubles. And then even in 7, no evil will touch you. No, I'm just gotta say it. I know y'all should know in here. You know what that means, Jughead John? He'll deliver you from 6 troubles, and yea, even in 7 troubles, no evil will touch you. Huh? What'd you say? Say it like you mean it. Seven is the day of birth. Rest. Then you gotta you can answer that question. Darius, you can answer that question. Yes, it's 7 abomination. But before we get to that right there, right, give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 20. We talked about last night that he said, yea, when I am tried, he know the way that I take, and when I'm tried, I shall come forth as gold. Mm-hmm. Now, right before we got to that 6 and that 7, he said, blessed is the man who that y'all do what to? Who he correct. So we gonna sit back and look at it, right? We can get to it, right? We talking about a lily among thorns. So Ecclesiastes 7 and 20, what it say?
It say, for there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not.
That's why people say can't nobody get right. See, ain't a just man on the earth. Y'all believe that? You believe that's that? You believe that, Mo? That sin not. Say there's not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sin not. You're supposed to. Before Yahushua came, that was an accurate statement. That's why he told the rich dude, told the dude, why you call me good? There's none good but Elohim. That's why he made that statement. He hadn't finished his work yet for him to even be called good yet. That's why Peter said in Acts that y'all killed the just one. That's why it said Yahushua went about doing good, because once he resurrected from the dead, he was good. Once he resurrected from, you know why he was good? Because he saw rest was good. Now he's a just man now. See, in First John chapter 3, verse 5, he said that we know in the Mashiach there is no sin. He came to take away our sins. Whosoever sin has neither seen him nor known him. None of his children are operate in that fashion. But before he became to get to this point, what did Pilate's wife say about Yahushua before he got killed? She described him with a particular adjective. Does anybody know what that adjective is? She said she called him a just man. She said, you leave that just man alone. I done been tormented with dreams behind this just man. So, and we just went over this briefly not too long ago, but I'm giving y'all another witness with it. Let's go to Proverbs 26, we see if Maul can figure this one out, because y'all supposed to know. 26 and 23. Oh, no, it's not. But you asked the question, and it fits on what I'm doing, so I can work all of it in. It's a light matter. Oh, no, once I thought about it on what I had to do, it worked. So
We have Proverbs
26 and 23. Yeah, I can work it in. It's all good. The lily amongst the thorns opened the door. The door was really already open on the verse I would come to deal with in Songs of Solomon 2 anyway. And we talked about being tried last night, so it all worked. Praise the Lamb. Come on with it. Proverbs 26 and 23.
Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross.
What y'all think that means? Burning lips and a wicked heart? They bring pain. But also he said they like what on silver?
A potsherd covered with a silver dross.
Go ahead.
He that hateth.
He that what?
Hateth.
Does what he do?
Dissembleth with his lips. And layeth up deceit within him.
He tell lies.
When he speaketh fair.
He speak nice.
Believe him not.
Don't you dare believe it.
For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
7.
Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation.
Who you think this talking about, Mom? In that verse right there. Who you think that's talking about? All the way from what he read. He read from what, 23 to 27? He said when he speak fair, don't believe him. It's deceit in his heart. Says 7 abominations in his heart. And when he tell the lie and his hatred be revealed, it'll be revealed in front of the whole congregation. Who you think is talking about? I could give you that. I'll give you that here. John 13.
That was a good one.
John 13. You know why that's applicable?
That's the closest person.
No, you know why I can give you that? Because of what we just dealt with last week with the host of the high ones getting thrown down on high. But because you said that, I can go to John 13 and work it like this here. 13 and 1. Come on with it. Well, you children don't never got to urinate like this at the house. Can't pay you to pee.
13 and 1? Now before the feast of Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world into the Father, having loved his own, which were in the world, he loved them unto the end.
To the end.
And the supper being ended, the adversary having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot.
What Satan put in his heart?
To betray him.
Oh, no. Did we not see that in Proverbs 26? So Proverbs 26 talking about Judas, Maul. Now, I'm going to ask you this here. When did Judas speak fair to Yahushua? When he was getting ready to get killed, what did Judas come to say to Yahushua? What did he do? When Yahushua got finished praying, right, what he read in Matthew 26, and then he told his apostles what? He said, my time is at hand. The Son of Man will be betrayed into the hand of sinners. What did Judas come do? We already know that Judas made an agreement. That goes of them plotting in the daytime, what we read in Job, with the scribes and the Pharisees for 30 pieces of what? Silver. That he would turn over Yahushua to them. So when Judas seen Yahushua, what was the thing that he did to let the scribes and Pharisees know that this is the one you need to grab? No, he ain't pointing him out. He kissed him. But what did he do before he kissed him? What did he say? What'd she say?
No.
She said it's ended.
She said, what is it mean?
Girl, go lay down. He said, hail, master. He spoke fair. Because you saying, hail, master, that's a salute.
He's like, what's up,
my nigga. Gave him a kiss. So it was 7 abominations in his heart. And what are those 7 abominations? Sowing discord among brethren, lying tongue, proud look, shedding innocent blood, feet that are swift to run into mischief, a mind that devises wicked imaginations, and telling lies again. Because he definitely put false witness on them. So when you mention that verse of Proverbs 24 and 16, a just man falleth 7 times, but arise again, that just man is Yahushua. Those 7 abominations, what we just mentioned, was his correction or his chastisement. Because remember what he read in Job 5. He said he sore, he makes sore, he bind up. He make he exalt those who've been made low. The whole time what he was talking about in Job was the suffering of a Mashiach and his resurrection. That's why he say even in 6 troubles and even 7, I will deliver you. I will keep you from the evil. What evil is he keeping him from? Death, because he resurrected. That's why I say that's not your fault. People don't know what Proverbs 24:16 mean. Everybody been taught what? We fall down and we get up. You know what I'm saying? But you have to look at it in this construct.
Like that, don't you?
If you a just man, why would you be falling? Especially, why would you be falling 7 times? You certainly not a just man. You are a sinner. Do you know what I'm saying? Why? Because past behavior indicates to me that you are a transgressor. We had a brother say, I would think you would be a just man if you lived
That's
80
what I was
years.
laughing
You
at.
know what I'm saying? And if you sinned a couple
I
times.
gotta tell you a story that the dude was on the phone.
Yeah,
he
go
asked
tell
him
me.
the same question because he was just trying to see what his verse was like if he knew. So he told him, he was like, what does this mean? Just man falls 7 times. To see if he felt the same way you felt, like that's talking about him down. He said that, that means if you live to be 70 years old, and you only fall 7 times, you lived a good life.
No book to back up his
That's
statement.
what he said.
That's what the man really said. Who teach the word? Like I say, right? You don't teach the word. So I wouldn't hold you to that standard of me being disgusted if that was your response. Because you don't know.
But you tell the nigga it's all right. You should.
You know what I'm saying? See, that's where they come in at when the writer of the epistle to the Hebrews.
That was quick, so do that one more time.
It's cool. Because I did the abridged version. You know what I'm saying? Because I could go in greater detail.
I can't hear either. Yeah, I really can't hear. I'm just
Well, she'll tell them children be
There's some
quiet.
vacant seats up here.
So, Liv, you want to sit in the back? This ain't high school.
You trying to get this lesson, ain't
I had to do that because the plug over here. No, I can't because the plug right here. So
we have to be this close to the wall to stream. So
I mean, yeah, this nigga made that much kids on here. That's worth it.
you know what I'm saying? But look it, right? We seen Proverbs 26, right? It's talked about somebody who was going to lie on somebody, who had hatred towards somebody, who was going to deceive, and then when he deceived, his hatred would be shown in front of the whole congregation. That when he would speak fair, don't believe in. It's 7 abominations in his heart. We know where the 7 abominations at in Proverbs chapter 6. Absolutely, I can explain the 7 abominations in detail. First and foremost, when you see those 7 abominations, right, you turn around and you see that Job is speaking about these same 7 troubles, correct? He said that Yah would deliver you in 6 and in 7 keep you from evil. Now we turn around and we see, and I have to do the abridged version, so I'm going to quote as many spots as I can, and y'all got to read this on your own time. So now when we look at these 7 abominations, first one is a proud look, right? The first time you see a proud look is in John chapter 11, verse 45. They say, if the people believe him, we're going to lose our place in nation. So they had a proud look. This is the scribes and the Pharisees. The second thing you got is they showing discord among brethren, because they were telling people if they believed on Yahushua, they would put him out the synagogue. I think you can find that in John chapter 7, probably about verse 42, picking up around in there, because there was a division amongst the people because of him. The third thing you see is you got people who devise wicked imaginations. So then you've seen the scribes and Pharisees in that same John 11, and in Matthew chapter 26, picking up at verse 1, that they wanted to put together a plot to kill Yahusha. In Hebrew, the word imagination, it translates to plot, plan, device, invention. Not just your thoughts, but something you're planning on doing. You know what I'm saying? See, you could have a thought of, boy, I'll knock her down, but then you didn't put a plan together to do it. That would just show flesh welling up and say, I'd like to do that, but that's wicked. I'm going to cast that down and I'm not going to do that. The imagination come in that when you like, I'm finna step to her, I'm finna get her number, I'm finna go to her house. Now you done divide the wicked imagination. You know what I'm saying? Now you got feet swift to run into mischief because Judas came and agreed for 30 pieces of silver to turn this man over to him. Now you got shedding innocent blood. That's what Pilate said, I wash my hands of this. Because he said, what has he done? Pilate told him, man, shoot, kill him according to your own law. He said, ain't law for us to kill no man. Because what did Yahushua do? He did nothing. Then they went and got false witnesses. That's in Matthew chapter 26 as well. Then they also told lies because they said that he was blaspheming because he said he was the son of Elohim. So these 7 abominations fell on Yahushua. And that takes us back to what we read in Hebrews. He learned obedience from the things that he suffered. He learned obedience from the proud look of the Pharisees. He learned obedience from the discord that they sowed amongst brethren. He learned obedience from his innocent blood being shed. He learned obedience from their wicked imaginations and their feet being swift to go do it. Because in the midst of that, that's when, but let this cup pass. But if not, let thy will be done. So when you look at a just man falling 7 times, and then it says he shall rise again, Yahushua rose from the dead. That's why he said, I'll deliver you from the evil and the 7 troubles in Job, because that evil is death, and he resurrected him from the dead. And if you take Yahushua on, you will suffer, if not all 7, at least one of them. At least one. Why will you suffer that? Proverbs 29 and 27. I'm going to show you why you're going to suffer that. Read it for me. Proverbs 29 and 27.
That's why I said just man.
And that's what it means to mean a lily amongst the thorns. Because what does he say in Hebrews? Thorns and briars are what? Rejected, not under cursing, to be burned. To be burned. So a lily or a flower or a tree that's going to bear forth fruit is amongst lilies. That's why he said he came unto his own and his own received him not. Because he was a righteous man amongst wicked people. Mm-hmm. That's why Psalms 2 say, I am the rose of Sharon. Y'all know what Sharon is? Because I don't remember. That's why I asked. Where is that?
It's in the land.
It's in the land.
No, it's a place.
It's a place in the land. No, Sharon. That's how you would say it.
It's in Judah.
It say Sharon, but you would say Sharon.
Yeah, that's why I laughed. She definitely says, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a place in Yehuda. So he the rose of Jerusalem. You know, a rose is a beautiful flower. It's the flower that most people equate with what? Love. You know what I'm saying? And he said, and the lily of the valleys, as the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. So he said, as a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. So as much as this beautiful flower is surrounded by all these prickly, no good thorns, and remember what Paul said, it was a thorn in my side to buffet me, lest I should exalt myself, what? Above measure. So this lily had to be among thorns to do what? Keep him lowly. So he'll sit back and do what? When I know the way that you know the way that I shall go, and when I'm tried, I'll come forth as fine gold. Like we read in Job last night. That's why I say it still worked on what I had to do anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because those 7 abominations is to do what? To try you. Now he see what's in your heart. Did Yahushua fold? No. Because Paul wrote to Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. All that live godly, what'll happen to them? There's going to suffer persecution. Everything in those 7 abominations is what? Persecution. That's why he said, if they persecuted me, they'll persecute you. If they hated me, they'll hate you. See, everybody be around here, we got to be one family. We got a nation build. I ain't got a nation build with you, nigga, because I know 98% of you wicked. I know when the true gospel come, you going to kill me. That's what the book teaches me. The book say that the children of the flesh have always persecuted the children of the Ruach. That's what it says. It didn't say we were just all one big happy family hugging each other and kissing each other. Everybody Yah sent to teach the word to the people killed them. Do you know what I'm saying? So that means if we all coming together and we all big one family locking hands, all us going to hell. Because if ain't nobody hating you for righteousness' sake, who killed Yahushua? That was not Romans out there screaming, crucify him, crucify him. That was not Romans. That was not Romans saying, let his blood be on our children's children. Those were not Romans at nighttime with lanterns in their hand, with swords and staves, coming at Yahushua like he was a thief, scooping him up. Romans didn't have him bound in their house. He was bound in the house of Caiaphas, the high priest. Pilate told him, judge him according to your law. They said, no, we can't do it. Because they didn't want to do it so they could keep the Passover. Who killed Zechariah in Chronicles? Who was coming after Elijah? Who killed all the prophets beforehand? Who locked Jeremiah up? They took Samson and brought him to the Philistines. The Philistines didn't come get him. You know what I'm saying? So nigga, this man told you in John 16, they'll kill you and think they doing Elohim service, and they'll put you out the synagogues. But if we all know we bruised and we all serve y'all, why they putting you out? These stupid niggas in 2018 make you think that's the Christian church when they walk up in that pagan house of worship, that heathen house of worship, that house of idolatry, and then people put you out. We got put out the synagogue. That nigga's stupid. What you thought they were going to do? You don't worship the same God as them. Of course they're going to put you out. Ain't that's what happened in Acts when they say, oh, he messing up with Diana of Ephesians. Paul, you got to go. Acts 16 to 20, they say, man, we Romans, it ain't lawful for us to observe none of that stuff he talking about. So we can't be that simple. It seems like everybody coming to the word, they find out they're Hebrews, and you have this idealistic view of how you think things are going to be. I didn't have that idealistic view. I didn't have it, oh, we all going to be righteous. I know you niggas wicked. I've been to prison. I've been on the street. I done seen evil. And I ain't seen evil nowhere close to other people that I know have seen. So I'm not finna come into this. You know, when I came in the word, you know what I seen? The dope game. I'm talking about the mind frame and the attitudes and the behaviors. The same things I seen in the dope game, I seen with the word. So I'm not shocked by stuff that niggas do. Everybody's moving and angling for a position. Niggas want esteem. You gotta sit back and look at it, right? You got a nation full of people who have low self-esteem, low self-worth, no self-value, low self-respect, who are injured, hurting people for whatever reason, what they hurting from. They find out they the children of Israel, and that gives them a prop up on their self-esteem. You done seen niggas who never had hoes get the word, and now all of a sudden, he got more women paying attention to him than he ever had in his whole entire life. You got to bow down to me and submit to me because I'm a king in Israel. See, we the righteous people. And guess what? You got women who desperate to be married and have somebody love them, so they following behind a nigga who seems like he know a little bit of work. I knew this before dealing with this here, right? This is a powerful tool. A woman by nature, she any type of woman, want a man who can teach her something. Want a man who can lead her somewhere. So if you seem like you know this right here, and most women in our community lean to this before men do. These wicked niggas know this. So they pick it up and they drop a script here. Come study some scriptures with me, baby. Come on, a coot. Let me do this here. All he trying to do is get in your coot. That's all he trying to do. That's what he trying to do. You have very few dudes that deal with this word, and if they interested in a woman having sex with her, is not his number one objective. His number one objective is that she get the word and be saved, because he actually wants to love and lead the woman in righteousness. These niggas want booty, and they doing it. And then I be shocked when Hebrew niggas say, man, they using the word to get butt. Well, you ain't never heard of Eli's sons, because they were show knocking them down at the tabernacle.
But burning the sacrifice and getting butt.
Burning the sacrifice and getting butt. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Shoot, Jeremiah told you everybody name at their neighbor's house. Everybody at their neighbor's wife. Woo, woo, boy. Brother James' wife looking good, boy. I'm going to wait till he go out there in the field.
Take me an early lunch break.
I'm going to take me an early lunch break. It's hot. My ox seemeth to make it for way over to your domicile.
I know they were pulling that, though. That seemed like, just like a Hey, you finna be watering your flock right by the tent.
You feel what I'm saying, though? We come in it wrong. Our mentality wrong. So you know what it ends up doing? We end up glorying in our flesh. And you never end up esteeming in the Ruach of Yahuwah. And you never become the son and daughter that you were meant to be from the foundation of the world. You know what I'm saying? And then don't get me started on niggas who just flaw. You know what I'm saying? We be shocked when you find out. You know what we do, right? I used to say this all the time, right? I know Dino because that's one of her favorite rappers. Y'all know what Lil Boosie used to write, song he used to have when he first came out? You know what song I'm talking about? What song you think I'm talking about, dude? Flawed niggas. There you go. Lil Stanley said it. You ain't about what's up, right? I used to be hustling, right? If you say, I tell you this here. When I was locked up, a nigga told me, he said, boy, you come to jail, you know what you're going to see? A pimp with no hoes, a drug dealer with no customers, and a killer with no victims. You know what I'm saying? So if you say you the dope boy and you wasn't getting no money, ain't nobody respecting you. If you said you was a killer and you wasn't gonna bust nobody brains, ain't nobody respecting you. If you said you was a pimp, nigga wouldn't even care if you were pimping bases. At least you were pimping something. But if you say you was a pimp and you ain't had no women, ain't nobody respecting that. You can come in the word and say you righteous and not be righteous, and the nigga say everybody falls short. We all trying to get it right. No, nigga, I ain't going for that. Nigga, you flow, you faking, you phony. You know what I'm saying? Because you perpetrating to be something that you not. It'd be different if you say, shoot, boy, I'm trying to get it together, boy, but I love these hoes, man.
Yeah, and then you hide it.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I don't like. You hide it. See, if you come to me and you got niggas who hide it.
Like you still trying to put on like
you righteous, but you not.
But you know you doing sour stuff, but you don't want nobody to know.
You know what I'm saying? One thing that's what I don't respect.
You saying, hey, y'all pray for this. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Or if you did, boy, I went down, boy, whoo, boy. I was wrong now.
I took an L, boy.
But you know, everybody in this room know people who do it. Maybe you was the person who did it. That you pretended to be something that you were not for the eyes of men. I don't respect that. Reason being, because I don't come from that environment. Do you know what I'm saying? I come from the environment that you are. It's like how Jake put it, right? He said you couldn't talk about it unless you lived it. And he was talking about her. You can't talk about Yahuwah if you don't live that. You can't talk about that. You don't have the right to do it. I don't respect that. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know what niggas covered up at? We gotta love each other, brother. Nigga, you don't love y'all, so how you gonna love me? Before I can love him, her, you, I gotta love y'all first. If I don't love him, there's no way I can love you. Because it's gonna be a situation. That's why the scribes were able to kill Yahusha. They didn't love Yah. If they loved, he said if he was your Elohim, you would love me because I proceed forth and come from it. How you gonna turn on somebody who serves Yah and you say you love Yah? How could you do that? We get in the word and we think that can't happen. The thing what you see with Yahusha, he kept his mouth closed. I could put these whole niggas on blast. I ain't gonna do it. Because they exposing themselves every day. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta look at it, man. If this what you say you gonna do, then do it. Don't fake, don't flash, don't pretend. Be a buck on what you dealing with. That's all we got to do. Our Elohim is a real dude. Ain't it what he said? So I've been said it numerous times. If you ain't a real dude, you can't serve y'all anyway. He don't want no flawed niggas, no fake niggas, no suckers, no busters, no hoes, no chumps. You see what happened when them niggas, he didn't want no hoe. He say, boy, if that nigga scared, send them niggas back home. He say, Yahuwah, man of war, send them whole niggas back home. Because he going to make everybody else fall out. That's what he literally, you just putting it in our terminology, but that's what he said, though. Send them cows back home because they going to make the rest of y'all weak. I don't need y'all falling out. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. You, how many times did he put Saul out there for being stupid? I don't like no stupid person. How many people in this book he put out there for being fake? He sat there and took Ezekiel to the temple and said, look at him, son of man. And they all in here hiding in their secret places. Look at these fake flawed niggas, man. They in my house with their back to my temple worshiping the sun. But they in front of y'all, praise Yah.
Everybody in there with their eyes.
Praise Yah. Yahuwah loves us. Bless the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That man ain't on that. That man is not on that. And then niggas get mad with me. I'll speak for me because I'm letting it be known. Nigga, I ain't on that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my God ain't on it. And none of y'all should be on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to look at it. But where we need to go, man? Hold on, I'll get the other part where you missed. Come on back to the Song of Solomon too. I dropped a lot of word even though we ain't reading them. Look here, man. Always hate. Uncross your testicles, man. That's how you get testicular cancer.
You jumping to conclusions. That's what it sounds like.
I ain't jumped to nothing. I did read.
Everybody ate, man. So what you talking about?
They did eat. We just didn't go to the page.
Okay. That's what you said. I'm rolling with what you said. Nobody asked you all that.
But I told you though. That's why your feedback.
You kept it to yourself.
I ain't want to. I felt like sharing. You got a problem with that?
I told them.
I know it is, and I paid for it too.
Well, get this on the side and drop some words.
I already dropped some words. You want to drop some more?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Go ahead then.
Stop.
You go ahead and read verse 3 then. Smarty art. You smarty art nigga.
So,
They say you a smarty art nigga, huh? You a smarty art nigga, huh? Let me ask you this. Y'all don't know that joke. It's okay. Abigail, ain't nothing wrong with you. Songs of Solomon 2 and 3.
it says, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sun.
He did what?
I sat down under his shadow with great delight.
With what?
Great delight.
And his fruit
was sweet to my taste.
What y'all think this mean when he say he as the apple tree among the woods, so is my beloved among the sons? What y'all think that could mean? Apple tree among the wood? Among the trees of the wood? What are the trees of the wood, everybody? But not just that there. Think about it. We just talked about it last week. That's the Garden of Eden. There's a lot of trees in there, ain't it? Where was the tree of life at?
In the midst.
In the midst, right? Say the apple tree, say, so is my beloved among the sons. Say, I sat down under his shadow with great delight. Who talked about sitting up under a shadow? Two prophets did. Who can tell me which two of them they were? Well, it's a couple of them, but I'm just going to say two.
Oh, Isaiah.
Where he said it at? Didn't Ezekiel tell you about dwelling under the shadow? In the 17th chapter. When he said all the birds of the air lodge in this tree and dwell under his shadow. Didn't Daniel tell you about it with that tree with Nebuchadnezzar? But he said it was delight to dwell. So what does it mean to delight to dwell in his shadow?
I was thinking about the shadow. He was like, dwell in the shadow. I'm sure.
To cover it. Yeah, because he was talking about. But the shadow is for covering or for what? Protection. Protection. And you delight to dwell in his shadow. John 15:1, man. He sure know how to say mama, don't he?
Didn't David say something about shadow?
It's possible.
He said who?
David.
There's plenty of songs about the shadow.
Yeah, that when you dwelling in his shadow, you dwelling in him. Let's look at right? Because remember it said his fruit was sweet to my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. John 15:1.
It said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
He the husband.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth.
He purged.
That it may bring forth more fruit.
More fruit.
Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine.
Now, we went to the part of abiding in him. We read last night in the epistle of Peter, in the first one, that you have joy unspeakable being in Yahushua. See, let's come over somewhere. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 5. Because we still got the lily amongst the thorns we talking about too. And we finna get to something else. And pray the Lamb. I'm getting a little different direction. Little Henry. Chapter 1, verse 5. Come here, Little Henry. Little Henry. Ain't nothing little on you but your feet. That's little John Henry.
Man, I ain't got my bag.
Children done ripped all your pages out?
Nah, my bag slipped.
Hey, it happens sometimes.
Dang, I ain't got my Bethesda. My John, my James, my Peter, my Jude, my Revelation, my Thessalonians.
Make that 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3. We are bound to thank Elohim always for you, brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith grow exceedingly, and the charity of every one of you all towards each other abound. So your faith should be growing. Your love amongst one another should be increasing. See, one thing I know that I mentioned before, right? You can't love nobody you don't love yourself. You definitely can't love nobody you don't love yourself. And you ain't going to be loyal to nobody if you ain't loyal to your God. So that we ourselves esteem in you in the synagogues of Elohim for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure. See, that takes us back to what we just mentioned with them 7 troubles. That takes us back to what we talked about last night with Job, with being tried. The patience that you got to endure when you suffer persecution and tribulation. And it's why he say take the prophets for an example. Look at the story of Job and the end of him and how pitiful and merciful that Yahuwah is, which is a manifest token of the righteous judgment that you be counted worthy of the kingdom of Elohim, for which you also suffer. So that's the part we don't look at, right? The suffer, children. Little Mike, sit somewhere and be still and be quiet. You was already quiet. Do you not realize those 7 abominations that Yahushua suffered was a righteous token of judgment that he was fit to enter into the kingdom of Elohim? That's why he say, blessed are those whom he correcteth and despise not his chastening, because that is a token that you are able to enter into the kingdom of Elohim. It's the manifest token of the righteous judgment of Elohim, that you be counted worthy. Seeing is a righteous thing which with Elohim to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And to who you are troubled, rest with us when the Master Yahushua shall be revealed from Shamahim with his mighty Malachim and flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Elohim and that obey not the gospel of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of Yahuwah and from the esteem of his power. When he shall come to be esteemed in his chesed and be admired in all them that believe, because our testimony among you was believed in that day. Wherefore also we pray always for you, that our Elohim would count you worthy of his calling and fulfill all the good pleasure of his goodness and the work of faith with power, that the name of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach may be esteemed in you and ye in him, according to the grace of our Master, of our Elohim and our Master Yahushua HaMashiach. Now when he talking about persecution, that man said, if anybody persecutes you, that it is a righteous thing for Yah to give tribulation back to them. So those same people who persecuted Hamashiach, it's a righteous thing for Elohim to come back and render them tribulation. Hey, I hear too many of y'all talking, children. Y'all need to be quiet. You ain't got nothing to talk about. You ain't got no jobs. All you do is play and poop. So be quiet. Because I bet if we was to cut on Blues Clues or one of them niggas, all y'all would be in here quiet. I don't know what them niggas watch. Be quiet. Huh?
That was what hang you like that. We watch Clifford.
But see, think about that, right, though? He had to suffer this here. Now, I want to show y'all one of the reasons why he suffered. It's going to go back to something you asked beforehand. Give me Matthew chapter 7. Pick me up about verse 23.
It says, and then I will confess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Go ahead.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken them unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
Sit down, little boy.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these things of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And when the rain descended and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass when Yahushua ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine.
Why? Why were they astonished?
For he taught them as one having authority.
One having what?
Authority.
And not as who?
And not as the scribes.
He ain't teaching like the scribes did. Now let's go to Ezra 7 and 7. Ezra 7 and 7.
It says, and there went up of the children of Yasharal and of the priests and Levites and singers and the porters and the Nethinims unto Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which is the 7th year of the king. For upon the first day of the 1st month began he to go up from Babylon. And on the first day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem according to the good hand of his Elohim upon him. For Ezra had prepared his heart to seek the law of Yahuwah and to do it and to teach it in Yasharel.
Well, give me verse 5. I didn't hear what I want.
Verse 5? That's what you asked for?
Yeah, give me verse 5.
It says the sons of Abashua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, and Aaron the chief priest. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was a ready scribe.
There we go. He was a what?
A ready scribe.
You know what that means to be a ready scribe, Mom? Say he was a ready scribe.
Ready scribe.
You know what that means?
She was well known in the scripture.
Okay. Zach, you know what that means to be a ready scribe?
Just like educated about it.
Okay. Do you know what it means to be a ready scribe? A ready scribe. Say ready to tell the world. Stanley, you know what it means to be a ready scribe? Little Muffin, you know what it means to be a ready scribe? No? Lee, you know what it means to be a ready scribe? What about you, Nisha? You know what it means to be a ready scribe? A ready scribe.
It says he went up from Babylon and he was a ready scribe in the law of Moses.
You know what it means to be a ready scribe, Monte?
He said, and he went up from Babylon and he was a ready scribe in the law of Moses.
You know what it means to be a ready scribe, Shayla? What'd you say, Stanley? It means to be skilled.
I mean, he's nice with it, though.
That means he know what he's doing. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5.
He's nice with it, though.
That means he knew what he was doing.
3.
The Hebrew word for ready is going to mean skill. 1 Timothy 3 and 5. After that, Titus 1 and 6.
It said, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of all him?
That's the thing that killed me the most is you got dudes that want to be over congregations that can't even get their wife in order. Can't even get their children in order. Pause. Give me Romans chapter 2, verse 17. Abigail, find you somewhere to sit.
It says, behold, thou art called a Yahudim, and retestest
In the law.
in the law, and makest thy boast of Elohim.
You boasting in Elohim, right? Go
And
ahead.
knoweth his will and approveth
You say you know his will and prove the most excellent things out of the law.
being instructed out of the law, and are confident that thou
Confident that you what?
that thou thyself art a God.
You are what?
A God.
You are what?
A God.
So this person confident they a God, right?
Of the blind.
Of the who?
Of blind.
And what else?
The light of them which are undone.
So you bringing life to death. That's what it say, right? Now look at what the next thing Paul say. Listen to what he say.
An instructor of the foolish.
You can instruct fools
A teacher of babes.
and little babies.
Which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law.
Uh-huh.
Thou therefore which teaches another teaches thou not.
Remember what we read in Ezra? It said he prepared his heart to the law of Yahuwah to do what? To do it. Now look at what he say right here. Go ahead.
He says, thou said the man should not commit adultery.
He said you say a man shouldn't commit adultery.
Let me come back. Let's do 21.
Go ahead. Romans 2. Children. Romans 2 and 21.
Yeah.
Come on.
2 and 21. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself?
So before you teaching somebody else, you ain't taught yourself? See, that's my point before. How you gonna teach me to stop smoking crack and we smoking crack together? How you gonna teach me to stop being disloyal to my wife and we both doing it together? How can two liars teach each other to stop lying? Somebody gotta stop. So you got dudes who be ready to teach the word and you ain't even stopped sinning yet. How is that possible? And the reason that's why we use Ezra. Not only was Ezra skilled, but he set his heart up to actually obey it.
So my question is, so is it, I mean, in my mind, it's best to just be God.
Indeed. Because Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 9 that Yahuwah has ordained that all those that preach the gospel should live of it. So that means he is appointed. So when he tell you in Jeremiah that I have given you pastors according to my heart to feed you with knowledge and understanding, that means he appoint people who he want to do it. That's when that Jeremiah 23 come in when he say they have ran and I have not sent them, and they prophesied and I have not spoken. So you got people, they sending themselves and they thinking that they doing a good thing, but they really damning themselves and whoever listens to them. Because in Ezekiel, he tell you that if you follow after a false prophet, that the reward of the false prophet is going to be on you. You know how some people say, I'm just here for the word. If he wicked, that's on him. Now, y'all going to kill you for listening to him. If you know he false. Because a lot of people know the nigga they listening to false. And they'll sit right there and listen to him.
Like the people that be at church knowing the pastor mess with the churn. And you still sitting up in the...
Finna listen to this nigga he touching on churn. I ain't finna listen to a nigga who cheating on his wife. Because if you can be disloyal to your wife, you are loyal to no one. If you can look a woman in her face and tell her you love her every night, right after you pulled your penis out of another woman, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
That's tough.
That's why I ain't never cared for Martin Luther King Jr. You cheat on your wife. You're not loyal to any. How you gonna be loyal to your people? You ain't even loyal to the woman you lay next to every night. And then you wasn't just cheating on her, you were tricking with prostitutes.
Oh.
Come on, man. I don't care he could have did a lot of great things. I don't respect you though. As a man, you're not loyal to your wife. You stood before Yah and said, boom, 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 that you were gonna do towards this woman.
You know MLK was getting watched by the feds. Yeah, they caught that boy tricking.
That's well known. What's the difference?
He was tricking with tricks. He was tricking with tricks.
If you picking up a trick, what you think you doing?
You tricking.
I thought you were like he was tricking his body.
Oh no, you don't say somebody tricking when they do that. Not with a man. Yeah, he was. I put it to you this way. I put it to you this way. The FBI came out and said that Malcolm X was a choir boy compared to Martin Luther King Jr. because Malcolm X actually lived what he was talking. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with a whole bunch of monkey crap, but he lived it though. But you know why Malcolm lived it? Because he was a street nigga. So he wasn't finna be out here flogging and pretending to be some. I'm talking about street dudes. If you a real street dude, you are who you are. That man didn't make no bones. Okay though, but what I'm saying is though he had a proclivity, but you know what? Because he was a street dude. Red Fox was a street dude.
Be a street dude to stand for what you believe in.
But shoot, boy, but you know why it makes sense? Because who did he say would get into the kingdom before the scribes? The regular people running the streets, committing crimes, doing ungodly stuff, because they gonna sit back and see I'm wrong, and in my authenticity of being honest. No, you don't. But what I'm talking about is though,
to be wicked.
no, you don't. But what I'm talking about is this here though. He was authentic when he was running, because you got dudes who fake in the street. He wasn't one of them people. You know what I'm saying? So when he switched over, I'm saying he a real street dude. So when he came over to this is what I'm doing, I'm committed to this. Because when he was running numbers and pimping hoes and robbing, he was committed to that. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was running the game. You know what I'm saying? That don't take away from nothing that he did or what he was trying to accomplish, but you were disloyal to your wife, bro. You were disloyal to your wife, bro. Like, I don't know how any of y'all feel about that, but I felt like that before the word. I don't trust a nigga disloyal to your wife. You ain't really got no commitment to no girlfriend. You a sleazy bastard, but you ain't really make no commitment to her. You know what I'm saying? You're not really bound to this woman. That woman's not really bound to you. You know what I'm saying? But when you stood and said, I do, I'm going to be loyal to you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you're not a man of your word. You're not a man of your word. And if you're not loyal to your wife, you can't be loyal to your God, and you ain't going to be loyal to nobody else. But you know what level of deceit you got to do to look somebody in the face and say, baby, I love you, after you just had sex with another woman? Even if you ain't married to him. You know what type of piece of crap you got to be to do that? Do you know what I'm saying? You got niggas right here, boy, I got to wash myself off. My old lady be smelling my boxes, be smelling my private parts. No woman should ever subject herself to that type of behavior. You ought to take that nigga and throw him in a trash can.
You hope you walk around with drawers in their purse yourself, though.
Yeah, and it don't make no difference. They just as disloyal.
Got a fresh drawers in there.
Fresh drawers in there, and taking a whole bath.
Baby wife, hit them baby wives and put some fresh drawers on.
If you're going to be a hoe, just be a hoe, male or female. Don't drag nobody in your mess. Bring around syphilis and gonorrhea and AIDS to people. That's right. Don't do it. That's it. That's disloyal. Why you think, when you look in the script, that's how y'all described us committing adultery with other God. You're disloyal. You're disloyal. What that boy done do? That boy smell like he done took a dump. Come on, man.
Yeah, you might have fought
He definitely could have.
Oh, you might.
Nah, I'd let that be known. And gave you a 10-minute head start. That's the only fleet of area. Come on, let's song Solomon chapter 2. And when he say that fruit is sweet to the taste, what is the fruit, everybody? Fruit, or his resurrection, and then joy, peace, long. That's sweet to the taste. Because he said the words that I speak unto you, they are ruach and they are life. And the book talk about how the word is sweet like honey. His fruit should be sweet. Gentleness and goodness and peace and faith and the love of Elohim, it should be sweet to your taste. Should taste good to you. Job told you that. He said, I taste the meat to try it, to prove it. But you know, it is what it is. People live how they want to live. They're going to do what they want to do. But you see that lily amongst the thorns is those who being persecuted. Or Yahushua who's being persecuted. All those that's in him going to be persecuted. I told y'all last night, dude had a discussion, still going, lady talking about, oh, we can work on the Sabbath. What about hospital workers? Ain't nobody talking about all that. We got to care for the elderly. Guess what? Go to work and don't let them pay you then. That's all you got to do. If you in that field and you feel that strongly about it, if you was real, you sacrifice your pay. Do you know what I'm saying? Straight up and out. Then it ain't serve our work. You doing good on the Sabbath. If they paying you, they ain't doing no good. They rendering you payment for services rendered.
So what do you think? Always something good like that too, like standing duty. You know, like we have to stand duty certain days. You know, and I guess.
You look him in the face and tell him, I serve you who? Elohim of the Abarim. I refuse to do this. Do what you may. I'll suffer for Yahuwah's sake. He suffered for you. That's the part that we overlook. We forget that this man got slapped around, spit on, hit in the face with a reed, hung from a tree for your sake. And we ain't willing to take a little bit of suffering for his sake. You know what I'm saying? You got to go in there with that level of, and that's not your fault, because you know why? Because most people don't tell nobody to have that level of faith and trust in Yahuwah to suffer for his name. You know what I'm saying? That's not implemented and implanted in us. So when we face with those situations, y'all let your will be done, like what he read earlier. You looking straight in the face. I understand that I have a duty to fulfill, but I have a duty to fulfill that's greater than this naval service. I must fulfill my duty to my Elohim. So therefore, I will not be here. And I can show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to do this and do that. Well, what's wrong with your doer? Because y'all can do a lot worse than what you can do. So what can you do? Throw me in the brig? Give me a dishonorable discharge? That's all you can do. That's all you can. At the end of the day, that's all they can do. They can fire you or lock you up. Y'all can fire you up. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it in that context, what did he tell you? Don't fear him that could kill the body, and after that, there ain't no more that he could do. He said, fear him that can take the body and cast it into hell. I said, fear him. So we ain't got no business fearing what no man can do to us. Because like at the end of the day, and if it's more to it that they can do, at the end of the day, they can't do nothing but throw you in the brig or fire you. That's all they can do. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, well, shoot, Cracker, I've been wanting to get up out of here anyway. You know what I'm saying? A dishonorable discharge ain't gonna stop me from getting no job. It can't stop me from opening no business. You can't stop me from doing nothing. Okay, you throw me in the brig. I sit in there for a month. Are you gonna do it? No, I serve y'all. I ought to be Elohim rather than man. You know what I'm saying? Psalm 27 and 1 for him real quick.
You want something? You putting that on the back burner?
On the burner. Let them simmer for a little while. Put them on low heat. Let that sauce bubble.
You want Psalms what number?
27 1. Yeah, I don't blame nobody for that, because that level of conviction. Come on, right? What Daniel did, right? They told him, if you pray to any other God, we're going to throw you in the lion's den. And what he went and did? Opened up his window as he did aforetime and prayed 3 times a day as he been doing. Then when they played that little cornet and flute, you better bow down to Nebuchadnezzar. They say, we care for you to answer you in this matter. That's just something we can't do. We're going to throw you in this furnace. What's wrong with your thrower? Ain't that what they said? What's wrong with it? That's how you supposed to look at it. What's wrong with you? Don't threaten me with a good time. Shoot, make it happen. Because I said what I said. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Always remember, your suffering does not equal. Like he said, he didn't read it in Hebrews. He said, ain't none of y'all.
I did read it. Nobody strive against you.
Yeah, ain't none of y'all suffered. Ain't none of y'all shed no blood not to sin. You know what I'm talking about? That man shed blood for you, and we can't even lose a job. We can't even do a bid. We can't even lose your mama or your daddy. You can't lose your friends. That don't make no sense. A man lost his whole life. And you didn't deserve for him to come, for him to lose his whole life. Ain't that right, Tabby? That's right, Tabby. Psalm 27.
It said, Yahuwah is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
Whom shall I what?
Whom shall I fear?
Whom shall I what?
Whom shall I fear? Yahuwah is the strength of my life.
He's the strength of your what?
Of my life.
That's why he could stand up, be that lily amongst them thorns and take them 7 abominations. Yahushua ain't fear none of them men.
Whom shall I be afraid?
Who I'm going to be afraid of?
When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh,
What he did?
they stumbled and fell.
They stumped. Guess what's going to happen to them all? If he don't get him then, he going to get him later. They going to fall. Come on.
Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war shall rise against me, in this I will be confident.
And what's that?
In this I will be confident.
What you going to be confident
One
in?
thing I have desired.
One thing I have desired.
Yahuwah, that I will seek after.
That you'll what?
That I will seek after. That I may dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life.
How many of y'all, that's the one thing you desire? Who desire that? Shoot, then you don't care what them people talking about then, do you? You shoot, care nothing about your job, cracker. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, Asian man, Latino, whoever you is. You take that job and shove it straight up your bunghole.
I'm going to see the Lord.
I'm going to see the Lord. I can't let. Come on, read them verse 10 though. Well, no, you ain't too far from it. Where you at? Where you start? You at 4? Well, work your way all the way down. I don't care.
I'm going to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. To behold the beauty of Yahuwah, to inquire in his temple.
In his where?
In his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion.
See where that shadow come from? Now pause and get in Revelation 3 and 10. We come right back to Psalm 27. Right there in the shadow. In the shadow, Abby.
It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Because you kept the word of my what?
My patience.
What is that going to
I
happen?
also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So he'll keep you in his shadow, right? He'll protect you, right? Ain't he the faithful Elohim? Come on back to Psalm 27. He a man of his word. Go with your mama.
We had 27 and 6, 5. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion, and the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up in a rock.
Didn't we just read in Matthew 7 about if you keep holding his words, he'll set you on a rock? What's the secret of his tabernacle? Yahushua is his tabernacle. The secret is the gospel. We read that in Ezekiel 36 last week, the fenced cities, which is the mystery. The gospel of Yahushua HaMashiach, which was kept back from the foundation of the world, but now has been revealed for your salvation. That's where he'll keep you at. Come on with it, man. Praise the Lamb. Listen what he say right here in verse what? Verse 6?
7.
You read verse 6? You ain't read it. Go. Come on, man.
And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. And I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto you.
Remember, right, when Yahushua got ready to be killed, he went and sung a hymn. He sung praises. Even in the midst of suffering and affliction, he sung praises. That's what we mentioned beforehand. How many people gonna sing praises to Yah when it's ugly? Everybody love Yah and sing praises when it's good. Nobody don't say praise Yahuwah when they down bad. Come on with it, man.
It says,
verse 7.
Therefore I will offer a tabernacle sacrifice of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto you.
Verse 7.
Here, oh,
hey, stop playing with her. It's not playtime. You see how much noise she's making? Now sit down and do what you was doing beforehand and leave Abigail alone.
It says, hear, O Yahuwah, when I cry with my voice, have mercy also upon me and answer me. When thou saidest,
said what?
Seek ye my face.
My heart
said unto thee,
thy face.
Yahuwah will I seek.
Will I what?
Will I seek.
Come on.
Hide not thy face far from me. Put not thy servant away in anger.
Don't do it, please.
Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O Elohim of my salvation.
Now listen what he said in verse 10.
He said, when my father and my mother forsake me, then Yahuwah will take me up.
How many people feel that way? He said, when my father and my mother forsake me, I know I got Yahuwah. If your mother and father forsake you, guess what that would make you? A fatherless child or an orphan. He said he a father to the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what we worrying about? What if my mama don't want to talk to me no more? So your mama greater than you? So your daddy or your uncles or your cousins, or they greater than you? That's what we worry about keeping. But you ain't worrying about losing the person who's telling you come to me. That's why he say you won't come to me, that you might have life. We don't want to come. What they were doing when they left out of Mizraim, they were looking back. We had cucumbers, leeks, and melons. It was good with me with my sinner friends. We had a good time. Songs of Solomon chapter 2, man. You just got to have perspective, man. If you who or what you going to go after, you got to be willing to go after. What you doing over there, Lizzie? Songs of Solomon 2 and 4. This is what we came for.
It says he brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love.
What y'all think banqueting house is? What y'all think the banqueting house is? It ain't going to be what you think it is. What it sound like? Fellowship house? What you think it is, man?
Sound like where they get a little tipsy.
And that is where they get a little tipsy, because banqueting means wine.
Banqueting house means the bar.
Yayin is the word for wine. Yad, noon. So what would that be?
That's the house of wine.
That's the house of wine. The banqueting house is the house of wine. And you got a yad, and a noon. So guess what you got? The work of the right hand leads to eternal life. Why does the work of the right hand lead to eternal life? We read about a cup of consolation last week. Y'all know what that cup is.
That cup of,
Now go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 where you was at before.
cup of comfort.
Little cup of comfort.
Comfort cup.
Yeah, he like Southern Comfort. That's some strong brandy.
That's a little comfort cup.
Back to Ecclesiastes 7 and 1 and Isaiah 21 after that. Remember, right? He brought him to the banqueting house, and the banner in the banqueting house was love. Ecclesiastes 7 and 1.
It said, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
Why is the day of death better than the day of your birth? Because you'll be born again. Because you will be dead to sin. So you got to sit back and look at it. John chapter 3 real quick. 3 and 2, I guess.
No, that was Ecclesiastes 7.
We're going to get Isaiah 21 in a moment. Yeah. John chapter 3, verse 2.
It says, the same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Master, we know that thou art a teacher come from Elohim, but no man can do these miracles that you do, except Elohim be with him. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Elohim.
What did Nicodemus ask?
Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter into a second time into his mother's womb?
What Yahushua said.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and the Ruach, he cannot enter into the kingdom.
So there it is. There it is. Because you know when you got immersed, what was that for you? That was the day of your death. So the day of your death was better than the day that you actually came out your mother's womb. We're not talking about literally dying. We're talking about being immersed in his death. That's better than the day you were born. You don't sit back and look, because guess what? Now you got a good name now. What name is that? You have the name of Yahushua on you. Because the whole family of Shamahim and the rats is named after him. Come on back to where we were at.
We was at Ecclesiastes 7.
Go ahead.
Because it is better to go into the house of mourning than the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
House of mourning rather than the house of feasting. Yahushua got ready for Passover, and didn't he mournfully tell his apostles he was finna get ready to die? Mm-hmm. Do you think he was around there? They were around there feasting, but he was sad. Mm-hmm. And he said it's the end of all things, right? Guess what? What is the end of the thing that it's referring to? It's the end of the covenant, which means it's the end of death, which means it's the end of sin. That's why the house of mourning is more important than the house of feasting. He told them, all of y'all will mourn me this night. Did it not say in Zechariah 12 that they will look upon me and they will mourn as one mourn for his only son? That's why he say, blessed is those that are mourn, they'll be what? Comforted. He'll give you the ruach. You can't even mourn. When you look at anybody in the book, when they confessed their sins, they were sorrowful. They wanted to be redeemed. They needed comfort. I needed comfort for my transgressions. I'm worthy of death. Yahuwah has shown mercy in a straight place. That's why I mentioned that before we started. Like, how serious is your salvation to you? How desirous are you to dwell with Elohim? Or is it just something to do? You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Please ask yourself.
It says sorrow is better than laughter.
Okay, that's good. Isaiah 21:8. I didn't want you to understand that quote unquote Last Supper, like they said, that ain't just no meal. It's many, many things inside the text that are contained in that story to point us to certain things. Because he said he went, because like I said, you got Yod Noon. You got the work of the right hand leads to continual life. So that's why let's go to the banqueting house. He gave him that cup and he told him, take, drink. This is my what? Blood. In the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. What did Paul tell you? Every time you eat that bread and drink that cup, what are you showing? Till he what? So that's why the day of your death is greater than the day of your birth. That's why he said he brought me into the banqueting house. And the banner, and the word for banner is degal, and banner means standard. So the standard of that place is what? Love. D-E-G-E-L is Dalit, Gamal, and Lamad. So when we look at that for that standard, Dalit, Gamal, and Lamad, clearly we see Lamad, that standard is going to teach you something, right? Mm-hmm. With Gamal, what are we going to use?
Travel.
Huh? Not just to travel. What else you going to use besides travel afoot?
What is Gamal? That's the travel foot.
You got your messenger in there, don't you?
Sure did. Deliver that message.
To deliver the message. Mm-hmm. Deliver the teaching.
To get you in that door. To
get you in that door. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what is that standard? That standard is Yahushua HaMashiach, because he came to bring you that. He's the messenger with the teaching that gets you in the door. That's why he say, I am the door. And if any man try to climb up some other way, he a thief and a robber. So anybody who try to teach the word or get people in the house outside of what Yahuwah prescribed, he a thief and a robber. Which take me back. Let's finish 1 Timothy chapter 3. Because I ain't finished. Now you see, again, that time back to your original question about the teaching. Can you see how it said that Ezra was a what? Ready scribe. He prepared his heart to teach the word, right?
And do it.
And do it. And do it. So you know what a lot of niggas doing? I'm Hebrew. You know what most Hebrews gonna stop at? Mitres and fringes. Niggas slinging meat all across the city. You know what I'm talking about? Stay drunk.
That's a term.
Stay telling lies. Nigga keep a kufi on. Won't put a kufi on his penis while he out here slanging. Niggas around here. I done said this before, like a sister was talking about. I don't understand how Hebrew women fall for it a lot. We mentioned it the other night. Well, don't you be letting no nigga run up in your vagina with no paperwork. Nigga talking about we had vows. You my wife now. Huh? Without no paperwork. That's what I'm talking about. You my wife. Once I lay with you, we are now married and one. Then when he get tired of you, he putting you out the house. You no longer my wife. Yeah, you were just his plaything. You know what I'm saying? You was the fun time girl when he wanted to have fun. You was somebody fun time girl.
Like that.
You better not have been nobody fun time girl. You was an honest woman now, ain't you? Too bad you wasn't honest for 20 years before that.
Man, why
just
you
was
break up the past?
Thank you. It's a new person.
Who? I wasn't talking about no sexual stuff. I just talking about you was a lying bastard. Telling niggas you got 100 drippers, you ain't got them because you done ate them all.
He done switched that fast.
Straight up. I definitely wasn't on that. I'm talking about you ain't ate all the ice cream sandwiches. You ate them.
Yeah, I didn't eat all of them. All of them, all of them.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that type of honest. Talking about you gonna match a bag, come up, boy, I ain't have my money, smoking up everybody weed. That's what you used to do, ain't it?
That was home match the bag. I'ma holler at y'all boys. Dang, boy, I thought you was finna.
Boy, I hate a nigga like that. There, you used to hate a nigga
That's
like
why
that.
it's funny. Everybody got a nigga like that.
Nigga like this here, nigga hit you up, boy. I'ma match you one, boy. But shoot, boy, I already got one roll.
Bad.
Bad. He come on around there.
Boy, my girl just called me, boy.
That's ugly. Let me get off that topic. Y'all, you see, y'all too young.
No.
You know, cause you from Cleveland. You remember that? But that Buddha lovers. You know, if you had a bag of tweeds, you know I smoking with you. You know, some niggas ain't got no bag, ain't gonna smoke nothing with you.
Sit in your seat.
That's a no good nigga right there.
Sit down.
That's no good. And that ain't just cause it's no weed. That's a nigga who ain't gonna share at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, your homeboy like this here, boy. If they'll split a debit snack with you. They be like this here, boy. He gonna keep his debit snack in his pocket.
Get this dog, bro.
Get him in there before he lock himself in there. Shoot, Mara, big boy. Come on, man. Let me get up off of that lead out there. You know, I had to mess with you at least 5 times a day when I see you. I got one more left.
Hey, you sit down, don't touch. You can't, you pretty dressed there. Look at that.
Don't you want to look nice for the people? See, I was old free-hearted nigga, boy. I smoked all my weed with Eric. I kept a lot of weed. So I ain't care. Because I was going to smoke, so I ain't care who was there. You ain't had to matter nothing. I'm going to smoke. If you my nigga and I seen you and I just smoked one, well, shoot, nigga, you trying to, shoot, we'll roll him up. I'm going to throw you in the bag. You roll it. I ain't got to roll it. Shoot, you cuff your grandma. I ain't going to look.
You a little too generous.
I ain't care, nigga, shoot. But we getting money. What I care about some weed for?
Don't cuff no bad. I mean, you just cuff something else.
I'm just saying, nigga, you want to get you a little bit of weed,
Nigga,
get you a little bit of
like
weed.
You that polite.
I let you my nigga. If I throw you the bag, you my nigga. Shoot, you need something. You need to take something with you.
Just let me know.
Shoot, I don't care nothing. But I mean, it's already been known. You want to get your son, you can grab your son. I ain't mad. I got another one in the back pocket. Might finna be on my way. I had a problem. I had a problem. I ain't ashamed to say it. It didn't interrupt my day-to-day activity and what I had to do, but I like to smoke. Praise the Lamb, though. I saved more money by switching to the Yahuwah.
You got a little life insurance.
Got a little life insurance, literally and spiritually. Come on with it, man.
You want this Isaiah, you done changed your mind.
I asked you for 1 Timothy chapter 3. I get Isaiah.
Man, I thought I read that.
No.
Why do I got it? It's right. My bad. It's right.
1 Timothy 3 and 5. You see how you try to do me there? I seen you too, boy. You had that truck out there looking like, shoot, transparent glass.
See a transparent glass.
Transparent glass. I only said that there because you put out there the mirror effect.
Look at it.
That's how you got to market. You got to do a little better copywriting. That's what you're supposed to use. Put all your marketing around that there, that mirror effect.
Look at it.
I'm trying to tell you. That nigga did have it though. Shoot, nigga, I seen people 3 blocks away in that car. I'm talking about your car.
Nah, that wasn't mine with the mirror effect. That was that
Shoot, we bet you lied that bourbon ain't had no mirror effect.
But
I seen it
yeah,
when
that
she
was
first
that charger.
bought it.
But that charger looked like you can.
Nigga walk, I didn't even know that car was there. I thought that was a mirror.
That thing was wet. 3 and 5.
Come on with it, man. We can get out of here.
Gotta wait. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how can he take care of the church Elohim? Not a novice.
Not a what?
A novice.
Y'all know what a novice is, right? That's a neophyte. That's a rookie. Go ahead.
Lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
How many people y'all done ran across that was a novice to the word that in their pride they thought they were nice and the devil condemned them based off their behavior? You got to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Titus 1 and 6. You got to know what you're doing.
Wonderful Savior. Wonderful Savior. They say if any be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly. For a bishop must be blameless as a steward of Elohim, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, nor a striker, not given to filthy lucre, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, sober, just, kadosh, and temper.
Look at that, right? How you gonna say you teach the word and you don't love good men? You only love the people who you like or people who won't hold you accountable. Go ahead.
Holding fast the faithful word that has been taught.
That has been what?
That has been taught.
So if you gonna teach the word, you see that, Maul, they got to be taught it. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody had to teach. That's what the apostles really was for. They the ones who he gave the gospel to. You know what I'm saying? And then they were to teach it to other men and appoint men to be elders so it could be spread. Not so that just those 12 men could have it and nobody else had it. That's why you see them going all over where they were going. Because it tell you that in Acts, that they ordained elders in every city. They were going around teaching men the word and appointing them to be pastors in the city so the gospel could continue to be taught. See, the gospel couldn't, of course, you know the gospel can't spread just with 12 men. So they had to go out and teach people this. And that's not what's going on now. You got people who ordaining themselves. Come here, Abby. Go ahead, man.
It says, holding fast the faithful word that has been taught, that he may be able, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and to convince the gainsayer.
So by sound teaching, he can be able to warn or shut up a gainsayer. Somebody who running their mouth. If you got to go run and get another person, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't never had to run and get nobody. We was just talking about this the other night. It's a dude I know, dudes who don't believe in Mashiach, they used to come for that nigga all the time. And you know who you used to call? Me. And you know what them niggas used to do? They never said nothing to me. And that's not no boasting on mine. Like, they ain't never say nothing to me. They felt like, oh, he don't know what he talking about, so I'd rather attack him. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in the street. People know who to try. You think dudes in Brooklyn wanted to run up on Mike Tyson? They weren't going to run up on Mike Tyson because they knew you're going to have to bump with Mike Tyson. It ain't necessarily say, oh, he necessarily going to beat you up, but you know he going to fight back. But you'll run up on little such and such because you know little such and such ain't going to fight back.
Nigga ain't got no hands.
It's the same thing with the word. Wicked people know who to try. Thank you, Tabby. Come on back to Songs of Solomon. No, give me Isaiah 21 in this one.
21 and what?
8. What you up here doing, Tabby?
It says, and he cried, a lion, my master. I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am setting my inward.
Okay, my bad. Back up to verse 5. 5, what we need.
Okay, prepare the table.
Prepare what?
Prepare the table.
And watch in the where?
Watchtower.
And do what?
Eat, drink.
Eat and what?
Drink. Arise, ye princes.
Arise who?
Ye princes.
And anoint what?
The shield.
What y'all think that is?
I think about that.
That's the Passover meal. That the princes is the apostles. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua is your shield. He your protection. He told him to eat and drink and prepare. Didn't Yahushua tell him to go prepare a table? So now when we come back to that Songs of Solomon 2, where you talking about, hey, I came to the banqueting house and the standard was love. Come over here to John chapter 13, verse 15. Make it 13. Yeah, 13 and 15 fine. We'll see what it says. John 13 and 15. Tabbing.
It says, for I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his master, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. I speak not of you all.
That's good, right? Now drop down to verse 27.
It says, and after the sop, Hashatan entered into him. Then said Yahushua unto him, that thou doest do quickly.
See, that's that lily amongst the thorns. Come on.
Now no man at the table knew for what the intent he spake this unto him, for some of them thought because Yehuda had the bag, that Yahushua said unto him, buy those things which were in need against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. Now, of course, remember that verse 15 we started was Yahushua washing his disciples' feet. Go ahead. Then he, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night. Therefore, when he was going out, Yahushua said, now is the Son of Man esteemed, and Elohim is esteemed in him. If Elohim be esteemed in him, Elohim shall also esteem him in himself, and shall straightway esteem him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you, ye shall seek me, and as I said unto the Yahudim, whither I go, ye cannot come now, I say to you,
Go ahead.
a new commandment I give unto
What is that
you,
commandment?
that ye love one
That
another.
you love, because remember the standard
With
is
love.
love, which is that is the messenger, the message. The messenger brought the teaching to get you in the door, and it with love, not just love. John 14 and 21. And also, greater love have no man than what?
His legs locked down for his friend.
Didn't Paul write that in his epistle letters that we ought to? We'll get it in a minute.
It say, he that hath my commandments and keep them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall love my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself to him. Yehuda said unto him, is not Iscariot, Master, how is that thou will manifest thyself unto us and not unto the world? Yahushua answered and said, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come into him and make our abode with him. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father which sent me.
So if you're gonna love him, if that's the standard, then you got to love Elohim. Then when you love Elohim, you're gonna love your brother, because he told you, oh no man when what? But love, because love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Yahushua didn't work no ill to no one because he loved Elohim. Get me Mark 12 and 29. No, Tavis.
It says, and Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah Elohim is one. Thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
So the first commandment is to love Yahuwah, right? And what's the
And
second?
the second is like this, is the life. Namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other.
That's the standard of the banqueting house. So that's the standard of the wine. The standard of the wine was for you to love Yahuwah again, which is the purpose of his correction and his chastening, because he said whoever he loved, he done what? He chastened. So that's why he put you through the 7 abominations or the 7 afflictions or the 7 troubles to purify you so that you would love him, that you would delight in him, as we mentioned in Malachi, so we could discern between the righteous and the wicked and those who serve Yahuwah and those who don't. You know, he told you, right, in the parable of the sower, that when people suffer persecution and affliction by and by for the word, they are what? Offended. I don't love you no more. You know what I'm saying? Why they didn't love him? They didn't have no root in themselves. They weren't solidified in the faith. This is why people walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody make it seem like it's going to be cookies and cream. Then when that road, we should have enough sense to know that life ain't cookies and cream. Word or no word. Do you know what I'm saying? But what you suffer is to perfect you. So remember, right? It say in the banqueting house, the banner was love. That's the standard. That's the standard. The word banner means standard. He said that in Isaiah 13, if I'm not mistaken, to lift you up a banner. You know what I'm saying? So the banner is the teaching of the messenger. That's going to get you in the house of Elohim. His teaching was for you to love Yahuwah, to believe in Yahuwah, to trust in Yahuwah, and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Notice he didn't put love your neighbor first. He quoted Deuteronomy 6 and 4 first. Hear, O Yasharal, meaning hear the word with the intent to obey, hear the word and believe it, and to love Yahuwah with every ounce of you. Your might, your strength, your soul, your mind, your heart, and then it'd be quite easy to love your neighbor after that. Ain't a single law that you loving Yahuwah would not cause you to transgress against your neighbor. It'd be impossible. Then on top of that, because you love Yahuwah, you would see your neighbor, who is your neighbor, but him, like he said, when the dude try to justify himself, the one who showed mercy. Who is your neighbor? Him that do the will of Elohim. It should be quite easy for you to see those who say they serve Yahuwah, for you to see Hamashiach in them and love them. But we got so many niggas who scream love, but you seen your brother and you shafted him. Do you know what I'm saying? You's a buster and a sucker. You know what I'm talking about? And in another world, nigga will blow your brains out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in certain circles, not just like in the streets, in the mob or certain stuff like this here, people get rid of people who are disloyal and don't carry the code of ethics that the organization carries. I don't want you around me. You think Yahuwah want that around him? He the same way. Gangster that was ever a gangster in wars. You know what I'm saying? People be talking about they gangster, but they really trying to emulate the truest gangster, and that's Yahuwah. Because a gangster ain't somebody but who live by a code of ethics and standard and then upholds it and execute it. Being a gangster just ain't being criminal. They, you know what I'm saying? They've made you believe that being gangster is criminal now. You know what I'm saying? But it's somebody who holds a standard and ethics and sticks to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And they look out for their family. Like,
It's loyal. Yeah.
it's loyalty.
That's the main thing. It's loyalty. Yeah.
They don't compromise nothing. Galatians 6:1. No, I don't want 6. Well, that's cool, man. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
It say, brother, if a man be overtaken in fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the ruach of meekness, consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Listen what he say.
Bear ye one another's burdens.
Do what?
Bear one another's burdens.
And do what?
So fulfill the law of my.
That's the standard of the house. Is love, right? Hamashiach say, greater love had no man in this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. He laid his life down for the household. So you supposed to bear one another. He said the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me. So you supposed to carry each other's burdens. That's the standard of the house. He brought you into, when he was brought in the banquet in the house or the house of wine, was that not what he was doing? Was he not carrying their burdens by getting ready to die? Come on, one more spot, man. It was just in my head. It'll come by.
You want all this?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's a little different. That's a little different. Dang, it was just in my head, man. Oh yeah, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 20. Or maybe about verse 7. Yeah, about verse 20. And then we'll stop right there, man. It's about 5.
It say, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do believe in Elohim that raised him up from the dead, and gave him esteem that your faith and hope might be in Elohim.
And Elohim.
Seeing ye have purified your ruach and obeying the truth through the ruach unto unfeigned love of the brother.
Unto unfeigned what?
Love of the brother.
Come on, man.
See that you love one another with a pure heart fervently.
Go ahead.
Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but incorruptible, by the word of Elohim, which liveth and abideth forever.
Because what he tell you, right? Love cover a multitude of sins, right? Yahushua loved us enough that it covered all. Elohim, so what? Loved the world. He gave his son. That's the banner of the house. That's the standard. That's the standard. So if he loved us enough to give his son that we should have eternal life, we supposed to know when he say the love of Hamashiach do what? Constrain us. He said, right, nothing should separate us from the love of Mashiach. That's the standard of the house. He said, right, to love Elohim is keep his commandments. His commandments are not what? Everyone that be begotten of Elohim, love Elohim because they begotten of him. And he said, how can you love your brother whom you have seen? He said, how can you love Elohim whom you have not seen? Brother whom you have seen. But we'll end it right here. John 21. That's what happened when you go into the banqueting house or the house of wine, right? You're going to come in and see that the standard is love. The messenger is going to teach you how to get in the house. That's the love of Elohim. Not to sip a little wine, but drink a little wine for your stomach's sake.
That goes back to what you were saying. That's fruit.
That fruit is sweet to my taste. Sweet to my taste. Because ain't nothing but little grapes. Everybody like a little grape juice.
I thought you were going to swing it. You never swing it.
I forgot about it.
I did. I forget.
John 21:15. It's sweet to my taste. I like a little grape juice. We like to get non-alcoholic grape juice.
It says, so when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?
What he asked him?
He said, did thou lovest me more than these? He said unto him, yea, master, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto them, feed my lambs.
Go ahead.
He said unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, thou love me.
He saith unto him,
yea, master, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. And he said unto him a third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?
And he was what?
Peter was grieved.
Because
he said unto him a third time, lovest thou me?
He said unto him,
Master, thou knowest all things. thou knowest that I love thee, Yahushua said unto him, feed my sheep.
Because the standard of the house is love. He said, you know I love you. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. We out. We gotta appreciate everybody on the stream. Bless y'all out the house of Yahuwah. The name of Yahushua. Y'all will. We pick it up again on Wednesday.
Look, Carol.